Hey guys, it's me, Unemployed Zoomer. I've been gone for a minute because a lot of bad stuff has happened to me. I'm coping with it right now. Um, I was almost unemployed or employed Zoomer for a week, and it was all taken away from me yesterday. I got two jobs at the warehouses. Um, was doing okay there, struggling to get there, but in the morning, but um I got two jobs. I was on track to working 65 hours a week to get me out of this rut. I did everything I was supposed to do. I was trying, I was working hard. I was trying to get myself out of this endless rut. And well, if you look at this post, you're about to hear why. I lost it all. I was fired yesterday at both jobs within a 1 hour period. Okay. I was on track to within a couple months, maybe 3, 4 months, I could have gotten out of this. I could have gotten back on my feet. But America put me right back. I was getting ahead of myself, I guess. I thought I could make it. I thought I was going to be allowed to move up. I thought I was going to be able to succeed. Um, well, I was wrong. I was wrong. And America said, nice try. You're going to stay on the bottom. You're going to remain to have $2 in your bank account and you're not going to move up. So I was terminated at both jobs, like I said, within a 1 hour period because of my background check. That has no real bearing on warehouse work. And even if it did, what am I not allowed to work in a warehouse now? Okay. So this video is going to be about the disadvantaged because that's what this channel is about. For people who start off with nothing or somehow manage to get, on the bottom or near the bottom and can't get a leg up. And that's me. I've really thought about just never working another day in my life. I'm a very young guy. I just recently entered the workforce, a good minute back, but I've already thought about giving up on life. And this is what they've done to me. My life's already over. And they remind me that every day. Every day. So I had two jobs. I did everything I was supposed to do. What did they tell you? Just work hard. Okay, I tried that. I was fired. And because of background checks, there's very few jobs I can get. I can't get much. So here's the post. In America, if you're a felon, you are screwed. They want you to suffer for the rest of your life. I have a wife and two kids to provide for. Well, I have really bad news for this guy. 9 months ago, he posted this. Okay. Um, I'm assuming by now he's in a lot worse position. The wife and kids are probably gone. I hope not, but they probably are. And he's probably actually back in jail because this is the system we set up. Um, and when it comes to criminal justice reform, when it comes to criminal records, which is everything's included, getting a job, all that should be included in criminal justice reform, not just sentencing and all that. It's actually in a lot of cases worse when you get out of jail than when you're in jail. Um, when it comes to criminal justice, do not speak to conservatives. Do not talk to Republicans. Anyone right leaning, they want you in jail for the rest of your life. And when you get out of jail, they want to make it so miserable where you end your life. So do not talk to them. They are not reasonable, rational actors, and that's why they lost the midterms. I was very surprised. My video, I was wrong on that. Those losers, those frauds, they lost. Thank God. Okay. So when it comes to these issues, when we're talking about felonies, criminal records, can jobs hire you? Do not talk to Republicans. They're bad faith actors. They do not care. They'll tell you to get a job all day when you're like, well, they won't hire me because of my background. They'll say, oh, you have a background? Get out. Because that's what they told me. I was escorted off the property at my job. I finally, guys, got a job and was moving up and was shut down. Both jobs, too. I had two jobs. I needed two to really make sure I get out of my rut quick. I was fired at both within a 1 hour period. Got an email from one, got escorted out of the other. Cause I thought, well, okay, I only got fired from one, I'll be good. Get the email. I don't have another job to go to. Everything was just flipped over. I've lost everything. And I've talked to conservatives about this, and this is why I warn you guys, don't do it. What did they tell me? Don't do the crime, don't do the time. Okay, so I guess I'm just not supposed to be a citizen anymore. And they say, no, you're not. They say, don't be a horrible human being. And I tell them I didn't do anything. It doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't want you to vote because we're not voting for these people. It's so bad because I know people, the criminal record too, and they can't get real jobs. And that's what this post talks about. He went to jail, did his time, whatever the sentence, whatever the deal was. He said, I can't find a job that's going to at least pay 17. He's saying 17 because he can get a job. That's true. Felons can get jobs. Yes, that's true. What kind of jobs? Because we do not believe a job is just a job. If you're a right-wing psychopath like half the country, they believe a job's just a job. Go get a job. So he's saying 17 because that means because that is his standard that he needs to survive and maybe start moving up a little bit. Okay? Because he can get a job for $7.25. I'm sure there's a job out there that'll hire, maybe an IHOP, a Denny's, a Waffle House that they're known for hiring people with backgrounds. But guess what? You're not going to pay the rent. You're going to be homeless like all those people that work there. And that's what Republicans say. If you are a criminal, in the system we created that is rigged, okay, against non-whites and, people that are poor, okay, the system we created to keep you down, we're going to make sure you never live again. And you will damn sure not vote. Because they take your right to vote away. So you can never vote on changing these laws. Because if you could vote, you'd say, wait a minute, we're screwing people over. Let's change these laws. Nope. Right to vote removed. And you have that goon, Ron DeSantis in Florida, trying to round up people, felons who were voting because they got a card that they were allowed to vote. Allowed to vote. That's America. Are you allowed to vote? Sure, you're going to pay taxes, but are you allowed to vote? So I thought I was getting up, guys. I thought I was going to move up. I lost everything again. I didn't get too much further above zero. I only got a week of working in before my life was just uprooted from me again. Again. And it's like, I just give up. I really do. I've thought about just completely giving up. I'm a young guy. I don't want to work another day in my life. Not because I'm lazy, but because there's no opportunity. There's nothing. I tried. I had a job, lost my job, got two jobs, lost those. And what do they tell me? Oh, just try again. No, I don't think so. I think I give up because everything was taken away from me. Again, I had two semi-decent jobs. It was all taken from me again. And it's completely legal in America because we have no rights. They are allowed to not hire you because of your background. They are allowed to fire you when they find out about your background. Like in my case, where they said, we're going to hire you, you get working, but when the background comes back, that's when you're officially working for us. So in America, there are no protections for felons or people with backgrounds. You will never get a real job. You will never be a teacher, a doctor, a dentist. You will never work for NASA. You will never have a real job with a background. If you were wrongfully convicted or not, it does not matter. You are now in the same category. It doesn't matter if you did something. You should still be able to have housing. That is another problem. Landlords are allowed to openly discriminate against a sizable chunk of the population. People with backgrounds make up a massive portion of the population. And they're allowed to just deny They'll eat your application fee and get rid of you. So that's America. No rights, no protections. Corporate rule. That's just America. You're just going to be homeless now. That's the United States. It's over. The country's over. People with backgrounds, which, talk about probably 10% or more of the population, good chunk of America. Well, they're never getting real employment. I've got bad news for them. They're never getting a real job. And what do the Republicans say? Oh, you have a background. You just, it's all your, well, number one, it's all your fault. That's what they tell you. Everything's your fault. Personal responsibility, rugged individualism. Then they'll say, well, if you don't like it, just go start your own business. And that's when the talking points start from them. They're nonsense talking points. Go start your own business, work for yourself, be your own boss. How is someone who has $2 to their name, no car, no house, no phone, how, they got a probation cost they've got to pay. How are they supposed to ever just start their own gig? Okay. Conservatives have zero compassion. A guy told me, one of these right-wing psychos, don't talk to them. Don't talk to Republicans. They told me, don't do the crime, don't do the time. I said, well, what am I supposed to do now? I'm a free person. He said, don't be a horrible human being. I said, well, no, I'm not talking about that. I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, get out. I said, well, go where? I can't leave. I have no money. That's your problem. Then he told me to end my life. So that's America. Felons have no, and you're going to see these comments on here. They're trying to be helpful. Oh, you can do that. No, you can't. You can't do any of that. You have no means to get anywhere. You have no car. You have no options. Okay? We have banned the box laws that don't matter. Okay? We have the background check is the problem. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing. If we scroll down far enough, you're going to see some right-wingers. Yep. The only job you could do is get construction. I don't live near oil fields. Yep. About all you're going to get. Kitchen staff. None of these are real jobs. None of these are real jobs. Yeah. If we scroll down long enough or find a different post, I've seen these. You're going to see right-wingers on here, and they'll say, well, this is your problem. They said, I wouldn't want to work with a criminal. And it's like, okay, so what are criminals supposed to do? When you're just supposed to just eat a lifelong punishment? No. Let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to go back to the streets and do what us criminals know what to do best. Because that's what and if you weren't a criminal, like in my case, and you were wrongfully screwed, you know what? They're going to force you into crime. Because crime is always hiring. There's no background checks in crime. And honestly, crime, if you have a bad background, it's encouraged to have a sketchy background in crime. Crime pays daily, pays cash, tax-free, and it's a lot of money. And so that's what these people are going to do. This guy, 9 months ago, his wife and kids, gone. They left. She left him, took the kids. He has no way to do anything. Okay? He is screwed, like he says right here. Okay? And you know what he's doing right now? He's either back in jail. There's a good about 50% chance on that. Or he's peddling drugs. Because that's your only choices. You're not allowed to ever get a real job. You're never going to own anything. You're never going to have a nice car. You're never going to even have a roof over your head. So what choice do you have?